9 African nations entered this World Cup. 8 of them went home before the quarterfinals. 1 didn't. And when Azzedine Ounahi struck that second goal in the 82nd minute, the president of the African Football Confederation finally let himself breathe. Welcome back. Morocco 3, Canada 0, round of 16, Houston, July 4th. The Atlas Lions are in the World Cup quarterfinals for the second time in their history, and the first African nation ever to reach consecutive World Cup quarterfinals. But this match was not easy, not comfortable, not the clinical performance the scoreline suggests. Today we break down everything: the first half nightmare, the referee controversy, Saibari's injury, Unahi's 2 goals, Brahim Diaz's historic record, and what comes next. Because France are waiting. Let's be honest about what happened in that first half. Canada controlled the tempo from the opening whistle, utilizing a relentless high press that frustrated the Atlas Lions throughout a goalless first half. Canada started very brightly, earning 3 corner kicks in the game's opening minutes. Jesse Marsch had clearly done his homework, and his team executed the game plan with the intensity of a side that understood this was their biggest match in football history. Tani Oluwaseyi had the best opportunity to break the deadlock, but his close-range effort was brilliantly turned aside by Yassine Bounou. That save, in the 11th minute, against a one-on-one chance, that was the moment this match could have gone in an entirely different direction. But Bounou was there, as he always is. And then the referee situation made everything worse. The referee handed out 6 yellow cards in the first half. 2 to Canada, 4 to Morocco. Morocco committed 6 fouls, 4 yellow cards. Canada committed 15 fouls across the match, 2 yellow cards. The numbers speak for themselves, and they caused genuine fury. Bounou, at halftime, walked directly toward the referee to register his protest. Fouzi Lekjaâ in the stands was visibly agitated with every decision. But this Morocco squad has learned something across 2 World Cups. The referee cannot be used as an excuse. The pitch is the only place that answers questions, because France are waiting. Then came the blow nobody wanted. Ismail Saibari, Bayern Munich's freshly signed €55 million forward, scorer of the winning penalty against Netherlands, went down injured before halftime. His face told the story, the pain, the frustration of watching what could be a tournament-defining moment pass him by. Mohamed Wahabi acted immediately, bringing on Soufiane Rahimi, and Rahimi, as we will see, made the decision look inspired. The second half began, and Morocco were transformed. In the 50th minute, Azzedine Ounahi capitalized on a crisp cutback from Achraf Hakimi, firing a low shot through traffic to open the scoring. In the stands, in the VIP section, something beautiful happened. Fouzi Lekjaâ, who had spent the entire first half watching his team under pressure, under a controversial referee, without their best forward, leapt from his seat, and he embraced CAF president Patrice Motsepe with the force of a man whose entire continent had been holding its breath. No protocol, no formality, just 2 men from Africa, 1 Moroccan, 1 South African, sharing the relief and the pride of watching a team carry an entire continent's hopes. Motsepe had arrived at this match knowing that every other African nation had already gone home. 8 of the 9 teams, 1 remained. And when that ball hit the net in the 50th minute, he knew Morocco were carrying Africa's flag alone, and they were doing it with style. Unahi effectively sealed the result with a composed strike in the 82nd minute. As Canada pressed desperately for a way back into the game, they left themselves exposed at the back. 2 goals from a player who has spent this entire tournament being underappreciated in the commentary. Azzedine Ounahi, nicknamed the Bee, had now scored twice in a World Cup knockout match. 64 passes completed, 80% accuracy under immense pressure. 7 duels 1 out of 10 contested. Rated 9.4 by SofaScore, the highest rated player on the pitch. And this is a player who has struggled for consistent minutes at his club. This World Cup, like it did for El Ounahi, like it has done for generation after generation of Moroccan players, gave Unahi the stage he deserved. And he delivered on it completely. Now let's talk about the player who didn't score, but may have had the biggest impact on the result. Brahim Diaz. He wasn't at his physical best today. Canada's setup was specifically designed to limit him in one-on-one situations. He won only 2 of his 7 dribble attempts. But Brahim Diaz's genius has never been just about dribbling. Brahim Diaz set a new African record with his 4th World Cup assist, setting up substitute Rahimi to cap it all off during stoppage time. 4 assists, 4 consecutive World Cup matches, 1 tournament. The first player in World Cup history to provide 4 assists in 4 consecutive matches in a single edition. In stoppage time, with Canada pushing desperately for a goal that would have made the final stages uncomfortable, Diaz found Rahimi with a pass of perfect weight and timing. Rahimi then clinically beat Crepeau with a low, composed finish into the bottom right corner to seal the win. 3-0, Morocco through. Let's step back and understand what just happened. Morocco are ranked 6th in the world. Canada entered the match ranked 30th. On paper, this should have been a comfortable progression, but Morocco had to earn it, with 4 yellow cards in the first half, with their best forward injured before halftime, against a host nation driven by the energy of a once-in-a-generation World Cup appearance on home soil. And they still delivered a 3-0 scoreline. Morocco ultimately produced an XG of 0.85 compared to Canada's 0.78, indicating a tight contest that ended with a slightly skewed scoreline. Morocco won despite having just 5 shots, the fewest by a winning team in World Cup knockout rounds since such records began in 1966. 5 shots, 3 goals, clinical, ruthless, efficient, and the historical significance. Morocco are the first African and Arab nation in history to reach consecutive World Cup quarterfinals. Spain, Portugal, Belgium in 2022, Netherlands in 2026, Canada in 2026. The list of teams Morocco have eliminated from World Cups is now a roll call of world football's establishment. Morocco now advanced to the quarterfinals against France. Take a moment with that. France, the reigning European champions. A squad built around Mbappe, Camavinga, Olise, and Dembele. A nation that has been analyzing Morocco for weeks because they knew this collision was coming. And here's what makes this quarterfinal unlike any Morocco have played before. In Qatar 2022, Morocco faced France in the semi-final as the ultimate underdog. Nobody expected them to be there. The world was watching in a state of pleasant surprise. Now, Morocco come into this match having eliminated Netherlands, having beaten Scotland, Brazil held, and Canada thrashed, having produced El Ainawi's 120-minute masterclass, Unahi's 2 goals, Diaz's African record. They come into this match as a legitimate quarter-final force. France knows it. Their press has been analyzing Morocco's defensive shape for 2 weeks. They remember the semi-final in 2022. They know what happens when you take Morocco lightly. And Wahhabi, who was reportedly already thinking about France when he made substitutions against Canada, will have had this match circled since the draw. The quarter-final between Morocco and France will be one of the matches of this entire tournament, and Morocco have earned the right to believe they can win it. 9 African nations came to this World Cup. 8 went home before this stage. Morocco carry every single one of them into the quarterfinals. Unahi scored twice. Rahimi came off the bench and finished with ice in his veins. Diaz broke an African record. Unahi made the save that kept Morocco alive in the first half. And Wahhabi outfought a tactical plan that had completely unsettled his team for 45 minutes. This is Africa's moment. Morocco's moment. A generation's moment. Subscribe for full Morocco World Cup 2026 coverage. The quarterfinal against France is coming, and we will cover every single angle. Drop a comment below. Can Morocco beat France in the quarterfinal? And who was your man of the match today? Unahi or Brahim Diaz?